Hi everybody, my name is Courtney Parson and I've enjoyed this class with all of you. Today I'm going to talk about what two things were the most influential in this class. I would say the first thing that really stuck out for me was actually the last module, the immersion video that we watched about the little boy that was in school and how he came from another country and came here. It showed, him crossing the border with his mom and how scary that must have been for him. And then to be put in a school where there was basically no help for him in Spanish and there was no support. And just, it really made a difference to me and showed me what it must be like for a child to come into this country and not be supported the way he should be. Another thing that I thought was really interesting was when we first took the class in the beginning and we took the survey of what we thought. It had the different questions on it about immigrants. And it really surprised me the numbers that I thought they were versus what they actually were of people coming over here illegally, just because I feel like the news reports all the negative and they don't report the positive. And it just really opened my eyes, which I was already, researching this anyway, as I have a boyfriend that's Cuban American. But this really opened my eyes even more to show how many people do come here, that need an education. And I'm really excited that this country supports their rights, whether they're illegal or not. That shouldn't matter. A child shouldn't have to worry about getting a proper education. So I would say those two things really stood out to me, and also finding out that they do have rights. I was not aware that immigrants that came here illegally had rights for an equal education, but I'm really glad that I found that out, that they do, because I think that's very important, because this country was based on immigrants. So how are we to say that they don't deserve the same education as anybody else? And as far as, my goals professionally, I actually went into school 2 years ago to do early education, teaching. I thought that I wanted to do preschool originally, but now that I'm 2 years in, almost 3 years in, I have kind of leaned more towards either special education or early education, but maybe a little higher of a grade level. And I'm really interested in ESL and bilingual also. However, I don't speak Spanish, so I don't, or any other language for that matter. So I'm not sure how that will fit with me. But I really got a lot out of this class. And I don't know. I'm pretty sure that I want to do kindergarten or first grade, but maybe have a focus on special education. So that's what I would say my goals are at this point. And then as far as what methods I found that I would probably use within my classroom, it would probably be the transitional bilingualism or the dual language program. I think those are really neat. I think it's important for a student to be able to speak both their native language and English eventually. I feel that's really important to focus on both. And so if I were to be, a bilingual teacher, those are the types of programs I would feel comfortable teaching, is for sure transitional bilingual, because they focus on the native language and then eventually transition into English. And that way they're structuring the class around both languages, and the student will hopefully be very good in both languages. So I think that's important. And I also like the dual language program where they teach in two languages, the English and the native language of that person. I think that's a really cool idea. I actually looked into that for my daughter, who only speaks English. In kindergarten, they have a program in Rockford, Illinois, where I live, and they start out in kindergarten and they teach in both English and Spanish. That way, the Spanish, or the children that are not from here, that come here and only speak Spanish, are in a class with English-speaking children, and English-speaking children that don't speak Spanish are in a class with Spanish-speaking children. And I think that's a great idea for them to kind of feed off each other. So I guess I have really gotten a lot out of this class, and I've really enjoyed it. And I can't wait to see what you guys all have to say. All right. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.